Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Locally owned and operated and stewards in the community, Hilton Head Exterminators is deeply rooted in our local community, providing pest control services to the low country of South Carolina since 1968. Joining us now, John Harris, to talk about pest control and their mission of providing exceptional customer service. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Forever. You guys have been here forever.
We have.
So let's get right to the insects. So what insects should homeowners be aware of, and which should they be worried about?
Sure. Well, here in the low country, we have no shortage of bugs.
No,
none.
none.
You know that. And for a lot of people, the most terrifying thing that they can see is a palmetto bug.
Right.
But the reality to it is that there's a couple of other insects that we do need to be aware of, and some that we need to take precautions against. Here lately, we've had a lot of calls for fire ants. Everyone knows what it's like to be out in the yard and then accidentally step into a fire ant mound.
Yes.
And that's certainly something that we can do and that we can pre-treat for and kind of help make the summer a lot better.
Right.
Outside of that, we're also waking up to the beginning of termite season.
Yeah.
Termites not only cause damage to the house, it can create a lot of problems for folks trying to sell their home, trying to buy a home. And so it's really important that homeowners be aware of termite warranties, how termite treatments work, and making certain that their house is protected.
Sure.
Average damage that a termite can do could easily be $10,000. And
those are big numbers.
Right, not to mention the pain and suffering of having to go through construction and repairs and treatments and all that.
Yeah.
And of course, with Hilton Head Exterminators, we offer not only an environmentally green approach to termite control and termite treatments, but then we also offer conventional treatments for people who are more familiar with that.
So the season brings out these type of bugs, correct?
They do. We tend to see termites going stronger now, and then as the summer moves in, we'll see fire ants take a good hold, and then we'll see termites come back in the fall.
They never leave. They never leave. So I have a new home. So am I safe from termites? It's
certainly something that you need to look at and be aware of when purchasing a new home that's a new construction. Your builder is going to pre-treat the soil in an effort to protect you from termite.
Right.
When you purchase that home, you want to be sure that you're familiar with the warranty, how the renewal works, when the renewal is due, to make sure that you stay current in that warranty. We have seen termites in new homes as young as 1.5 years old.
Wow.
And so, you know, it's very important that you know what to look for there and that you're aware of the documentation and everything that you were given at the time of closing.
So to transition away from termites, I'm seeing dime-sized holes along the trim of the outside of the house.
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Right. We do get calls for folks that are telling us that there's these dime-sized holes around the fascia boards and the trim.
Yeah, the parameter, yeah.
And what that is a carpenter bee. A large bee. They're very slow flying. Can be terrifying looking when someone encounters one of those. And they do a small amount of damage in that they will drill a hole into the fascia board. We do get a lot of calls for that around the handrails of decks and things like that. And so that's certainly something that can be taken care of.
Is that also something you see sort of in the eaves?
You do. You can see it at the eaves, handrails on your deck posts and things like that.
Wow.
But we do get a lot of calls on that. That's a strange one that no one's really sure what that is, but it is a carpenter bee.
Right.
And there's some mechanical means by which we can treat for those. Bees are certainly something that we want to be careful with, protect our pollinators and make certain that we don't cause harm there.
Right.
But there's some mechanical things, sealing the holes, doing things like that that will deter them from trying to build a nest there.
Gotcha. So John, we'll have your website, we'll have your phone number, we'll have your information on the screen, and it sounds like people probably just need to call and check in and see what they might have going on at the house, and
Right.
and you guys can take care of it.
That we can do.
That's wonderful. Thanks for joining me
No,
today.
thank you.
And we thank you so much for joining us on today's Talk of the Town.